Hi everybody, it's Diane. I am making some tags to go in the Cowboy journals, and this will be a Somerset inspired video. So this is my inspiration piece. This design or the images on this are not my style at all, jungle kind of style, but I really liked this with the mesh up here. I think it's a metal mesh, and the grommet and just kind of things just stuck together up there, and the collage look of it. So my tags look very much different from this, but I took that as my inspiration. So I made one, and I have a few more all set to put together on camera. So this is the one I made. I just cut some manila file folder into tag shapes. I cut them 2 3/4 by 5.5, and then just cut the angled pieces. And I stamped at the bottom, and then added a strip of text from the Cowboy book, and then a piece of that denim looking scrapbook paper, and added from the Cowboy book. This is what's it called? A brand. It's a famous brand. So there were several pages of these brands in the book. And they were in little squares. So I just cut some out and used a piece of burlap. I don't have any wire mesh, but I used burlap instead. So I've already prepped, I've already inked and torn and sewn. I sewed around the edges of the burlap so that it wouldn't fray, and I sewed this piece onto this tag. So all I have to do is put them together. I even already put the holes in it because the way I do it, it's noisy, and you're going to hear the noise of me putting the eyelet in, but at least you don't have to hear all of it. So I want to stamp at the bottom, and I have different stamps. I'm not going to use the same stamp for every tag. I'm just going to use my brown StazOn ink for all of them. I was thinking of using a turquoise for that, but I actually don't have all my inks in here. So I have 2 sets of old Stampin' Up! Stamps that are Western themed, and they're from 2007. So that's what that is. And so these are torn from the book Cowboys and Their Horses. So the words, the text should, if you bothered to read the text on these, it should go along with the theme. I tore these, but I thought I might have to make them smaller, and I do this one. Just use a glue stick to glue these pieces down. I think right now the Somerset images that I'm using as inspiration are great because I'm feeling scattered and not put together, and still working on getting settled into my new house. So it helps me to just go through my folder and get ideas and inspiration rather than try to tax my brain too much right now. Sometimes it's just that's what you need to do. And it shows that you can get inspiration from all kinds of places and translate it any way that speaks to you. I was looking through the folder knowing that I was going to make things for the Cowboy journals, and so I was looking for things that would translate into a cowboy theme. So I did pull quite a few ideas out. I won't make them all. I don't need to make that many, but each time I want to make something, I look through what I pulled out and see what I feel like I can do in that moment. Right now, I've been working at this for quite a while this afternoon. Sunday afternoon. But it takes me a while because I have to locate things. So yesterday those two are stuck together. Yesterday I did a project that required lace, so I had to find my box of lace. So this afternoon after I had lunch, I organized all of that big box of laces into my drawers of lace. So they're all set, and that box is empty and broken down. Yay! And today I needed my Western stamps. So I'm trying to line all of these holes up. I have my drawers, my plastic drawer towers that have stamps in them in the closet in this room. And all the stamps were just dumped back into the drawers willy-nilly, no organization at all. So they were all mixed up. So I had to go through all of the drawers and kind of start sorting them and pull. And as I went, I found the Western stamps. I'm going to go ahead and pound now. No, I'm not. I forgot to put my piece of metal underneath this when I did it. When I put the hole in it in the first tag, and I made a mark in my table. There, now I'm ready. I wasn't sure if the grommet would go through all of these layers with the burlap there, but it did fine. So there's that one, and I want to stamp a corner at the back. How about that? Kind of a checkered. On the first one, I don't know if you saw, but it's got a wooden branch kind of corner. All right, so there's those two. I cut out 5 tags. I'm making 4 journals, hopefully. Maybe, I'm not sure if I'll make all of them, but I happened to cut 5 tags, and then I just wanted to get on with it, so that's what I have. I did ink around this, but I'll have to ink again a little bit as I tear them down to size. But at least most of it is inked. Let's stamp something first. Will that word fit? Yeah. I could put it on as at an angle, but I don't want to. Wanted. I might as well do the corners on the back since I have the ink open. These are also old Stampin' Up! Stamps, and they're from 1998. I don't want to cover up the word wanted, so I'll just use smaller pieces. And you could cut out a piece of paper, like decorative paper, or washi tape across the bottom instead of using a stamp. On the inspiration piece, they have paper there and paper here, which inspired me to do this part, but I decided to use some of my stamps down there. So you just adapt to whatever you want to do. Now this mesh This one isn't vintage. All the other ones, all the other burlap is vintage, but this one with the larger holes is not vintage. And you don't really need to punch a hole in that, but I did. I need to get my metal plate out before I assemble it. Okay, I wanted to make sure my tag was straight this time. Put a horse on this one. Riding like the wind. And I'll put this emblem here. And I will ink around the backs of any that aren't inked. I inked the fronts of all of them, but not the backs, but I will. I have 3 with the tan burlap and 1 turquoise and 1 pink. I usually do my eyelets this way anyway, but I think that because because of all these pieces, it's a lot easier to do it this way than to try to hold all those pieces together while you put it in the big bite or crocodile or whatever it is you use. Paper is left over from Sunday school class. I have things that I printed for my class that I didn't use, that I had extras of. I just keep them and use them for stuff like this. And I usually flip it to the back, but both sides are typed on this one. I actually don't think this is one that I did. Must have been from some other class. I love the pink burlap, of course. So I'll let you take a look at these brands as soon as I get this put together, because they're fun to look at. Okay. So this one is the Flying U from Nebraska. And these are real cattle brands. It says these are famous ones. So that's the U, and you can see the little wings on it. Flying U. And here we have Diamond E from Arizona. And W Diamond from New Mexico, and W Bar from Nebraska, and Crescent F from California. And those are my 5 tags that I'm making today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Somerset Inspired and another embellishment made for the Cowboy Journals. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.